Good evening, everyone. This is Nicole Robinson coming to you again with another episode of Meet the Mustangs. Tonight, I have the pleasure of talking to Jay Davis Sr., number 23 of the Connecticut Mustangs. How are you doing tonight, Jay?
I'm all right, ready for the season.
Okay, so before we get into anything, how are you handling yourself during this crazy pandemic that we're experiencing? Like, how has it affected you and your family?
Actually, I'm was considered an essential worker. I work with the mentally challenged, so I've still been working. If not, I've been working more hours. Um, it's been rough because I don't like to go outside because I have my son. So I just go to work and I try to stay as secluded as I can so I can still be around him. But we live and we making it work as best as we can. You never
Exactly.
know. This might become regular life. So we just been trying to
I
keep
definitely
on keeping
hope
on.
not. Definitely hope not. It's
Definitely.
funny. One of the other guys I did an interview with, we had a connection through college. We ended up going to the same college. Of course, not at the same time, but
Hmm.
you said you work with the mentally challenged, and it's funny because I work as a peer educator in the Hartford school system with the
Okay.
mentally challenged teenagers. So, well, teenagers slash adults, because they're able to come to school until they're 21. So,
Right.
that's a connection. How old are your patients that you work with?
They range from well, now I'm in residential, so they're typically older,
Okay.
like 40 and up. But in my company, they range from about 21 and up or so.
Okay, so your company gets them right after we
Yeah.
after they leave school.
Hmm.
Okay, so how about you just start with telling me where you're from, some of the things you like to do growing up, and how your experience was growing up.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I moved here to Connecticut when I was like 17, my junior year of high school. Um, yeah, New York made me, but CT made the man out of me, I guess. New York made the foundation of me, but coming out here to Connecticut, it shaped me into a better man, I would say. Um, it was harder for me because I wanted to play football growing up, but I didn't until I moved out here
Oh,
because the neighborhood school that I went to, my mother didn't want me going there because I knew, a lot of my friends, they're in the streets or whatever. So she didn't want me going there because she knew I would. She felt that I would be more into them than my schoolwork or whatever,
yeah.
which ended up being kind of the case with the school I went to anyway because I didn't really have nothing to distract me. Only thing that school had was track. So, I was still kind of finding myself, getting into little things and not to, but still finding myself into things or whatever. But moving out here to Connecticut, I finally started playing football. My grades started going up and everything. So football was life for me. Football was my key to my life.
Yeah. So when you moved, what made you try football? Because you say you didn't move till you were like a junior in high school. So that's probably like what, like 15, 16. So
17.
what made you want to try football at that stage? Like you probably wanted to do it from a young child and just didn't do it. But most people, when they don't pick it up when they're younger, they just let it go. So like,
You
why did you
see,
try it?
well, I've always played, little pickup street football games or whatever, and I've always been the dude to be first pick type. You know what I mean? Everybody want to pick me, but as far as organized football, I mean, my mother is better established now financially, but growing up when it was time for Pop Warner and Pee Wee, when my friends were playing that type of stuff, and I wanted to, anytime it was time for signing up, my mother didn't have the money until the deadline was up.
Yeah.
So I always hung on to that, hung on to the getting the opportunity to play. So
Yeah.
when it came, I had gotten into a little trouble right before we moved, and my mother asked me actually, "Do you want to move to Connecticut? How do you feel about moving to Connecticut?" And I was kind of stuck. I'm just like, you know what I mean? At the time, I didn't even want to go to school no more. I'm like moving, like I was ready to drop out of high school. But then she was like, "Oh, they got football there," because she knew I loved football. So I'll just say, you know what? All right, I'll give it a try. And basically, football was the reason why I moved. Why I was okay with moving.
Wow. And when
Mhm.
you guys moved to Connecticut, did you move to New Haven, or did you move to a different area?
Yeah, I moved to New Haven. I moved to New Haven, the Exit 8 area.
Okay, cool. Is that where you still are right now, in the New Haven area?
Oh yeah, I'm in the New Haven area still. Yep.
Okay, cool. So I see why you would want to play football when you moved, got into high school and stuff. But what made you want to do the semi-pro league, and what made you choose Mustangs?
Well, I'm a dedicated person. That's my personality. Like when I came out here, like I said, when I didn't play organized football growing up. So the first year of me playing football was really me learning the actual game, the fundamentals of the actual football, and then by my senior year, I was captain of the football team. But I also gained a knee injury, tendonitis, and I got tendonitis in my knee. So I really wasn't the same. I'm still not the same, I would say. But I never really gave up that hope. I actually did. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I got into a depressed mode my senior year, but I still kept on trying to keep on. Um, so that after, it kept on being me, kept hanging on to, not letting go of the game just because I got hurt. I let go of. I know I allowed myself in that depression to let go of the thought of college, but I always wanted to play still. You know what I mean? And semi-pro gave me that opportunity. And Mustangs, that's a winning team. I'm a winner. I've always, not to speak down on New Haven, because like I said, New Haven has helped me become a better man. But I learned a lot of the inner city teams, they it's I don't know, it's different from what you see on TV,
Yeah.
and to see a winning team and to see some brotherhood and stuff like that, that's what really what drew me to it. Because I played semi-pro on other teams before, and it wasn't really the same exact. Of course, once you hit that gridiron, you're gonna make brothers, but overall, it wasn't the same. It's definitely a different feel here. A little more organized, a little more. Everywhere needs improvement. But that's the same thing in the NFL. Nowhere's perfect, but definitely as far as semi-pro teams go, Mustangs is like the Gucci of.
Cool. It's funny that out of everyone I have already interviewed, you guys all pretty much say the same thing about the team, with the brotherhood and the camaraderie and stuff like that, and that the fact that you guys really want to go for that championship. So it's just one of those things where it speaks like high volumes of all you guys, like, personalities, because pretty much the first thing that everyone says when I ask them that question is like they love the brotherhood of the Mustangs. So that's a really good thing, because that that means you guys are going to basically have these long lasting friendships even when you're not on the field. So
And typically, a lot of us have played with each other before being on the Mustangs. Spread out. Here and there, we've all, for the most part, have played with each other at some point in time. So there is a different type of chemistry as well. You know what I mean? Joining the team, I felt like I was joining my brothers before I even was on the team, because I already knew a couple of the dudes. We already have a certain chemistry on the field. So the more that happens, the more we'll gel together, and the more we'll be unstoppable.
yeah, I hear that, because the season is coming up, and hopefully, with certain things opening back up, you guys
Mm-hmm.
may be able to get back on that field. And I mean, even if you are not able to get back on the field this year, I do know that you guys will still carry this on for next year and still just come back stronger.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. The chemistry will always be there. Like we just gel well together. That's just how we roll. The only thing will just be everybody just have to keep that mental. Because the longer we're away from football, the harder it is to keep that drive. I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why me myself, I try to stay out there every weekend still and keep active or whatever. But as long as everybody keeps that drive, we'll be good.
True, true. What position do you play for the Mustangs?
Right now I play cornerback and offense, wide receiver.
Okay. Now, for those of us who don't know what that is, like me, exactly where on the field is the cornerback?
The cornerback is the man defending the wide receiver who catches the ball.
Okay. I was gonna say I know what the wide receiver is. I know some of the positions, but I'm not familiar with a cornerback. So that's good.
So yeah, I play both sides of the same spectrum, basically, if you want to say.
Oh, okay, cool. So let me ask you about how tall and how big are you? You know, like because you got to have some kind of weight and speed and stuff like that to play in those positions.
Me personally, I'm different. I don't play to my size, I would say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm 5'9", 170 pounds, but people think I'm bigger. You know, I come way stronger than that.
Cool.
Definitely, speed is definitely my special ability, I would say.
That's cool. Yeah, so you're probably one of those dudes that people just underestimate you because of your size, and then when
And I feel like that's the advantage I have of it because they don't come as hard because I'm small, I'm shorter and smaller, so they don't think I'll come with as much strength. So you know, I'll take them. I'd rather if they would make it easy, I'll take that.
Well, the first time they're gonna make it easy. Then when you come with what you got, they're gonna say, "Wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta come harder."
Most definitely.
Exactly. So let me ask you. So it seems like you've been playing for a little while, but how long do you feel like you have left in you to play this semi-pro league?
Forever. Like I said, I've been dealing with certain injuries since my senior year of high school. So I've been dealing with the same ones. So I keep pushing through. All I do is find ways to play with my injuries. Like I got several injuries now, and people don't even know. Like you know what I mean? I play through it. But I have a son who's 1, and I plan on playing until he can beat me.
I hear that. That father-son competitiveness.
Yeah, like I want my son to play football growing up, so I got to be the rabbit for him. I got to give him the challenge. Okay. I got to be active. I got to stay active. So as long as he's got the passion for football, I'm gonna be playing.
True indeed. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 27.
Okay, 27. So yeah, you're still pretty young. So you still have a long ways to go ahead of you. Because especially if you just treat your body right, do what you need to do, you will definitely be able to play for as long as you can. And because sometimes it's not even just about like the physical; it's the mental also. So, and you seem like you basically have it like. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're gonna strive to do, is gonna happen. So that's good. So besides just for the love of football, because clearly, like coming to Connecticut helped you fall in love with the game. What else did you get? What else do you wish to get from playing with the Mustangs?
A ring. A ring, definitely. Like I said, I feel like with where I've come from and where I am now, I feel like selfishly I deserve it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I put in a lot of pain, a lot of hard work. A lot of people, like when I first came here to Connecticut, I made a lot of brothers, but I felt like I've not told them this to their face in the field and everything, but a lot of people take it for granted, having played football all their lives and everything. Mm-hmm. And people got their rings, they get their trophies, and not for nothing, I feel like if you're gonna play on a team, you playing to win. You know what I mean? If you're gonna play a sport, you're playing to win. So if anything I'll play to win. I'll go as hard as I can. I'll be the first man on the field. I'll be the last man to leave. No matter if I'm paying to play or if I'm getting paid to play, I'm playing to win. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I've been playing to win a ring. I always tell my nephews and nieces and stuff, like, remember the Titans is the movie that really got my spirit into that team football, like, you know what I mean? And it's like at the end of it all, when you put in that blood, sweat, and tears, you want something to show for it. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't there for the disappointing ending of the season. 'Cause I know that they had a good season last year, but it ended disappointingly. But I'm hoping that we could have a good season this year and just end it right.
Yeah, speak it into existence, and it shall happen. Speak it into existence. And speaking of Remember the Titans, I love that movie. I definitely love that movie. So I
Yeah,
always
that
get
movie was
choked up at the end though. But
dope.
you know, so you mentioned you had a son. So besides your
Yeah.
son, because I have 2 children myself, so I definitely know that children take up a lot of time. And besides football and working, what other things, like what other hobbies do you do? What other things interest you?
Lately I've been getting into cooking more. I've been starting to do my own personal training.
Okay.
Um, I'm good at my feet. I got the fast feet, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've been just hitting the field and just working on my feet. And pretty much that's it, really. Acting and modeling is what I was doing before. I'm starting to slowly get back into that. So there's
Okay.
a lot of different things I've been keeping busy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's always good to keep busy, especially in this time when you don't I know you mentioned your depression state and your senior year of high school, but a lot of people don't really know that depression is very real, and
Yeah.
especially right now is a critical time for people to, get into that depressive state. So to keep busy, that's really good because you don't want to fall back into that like pattern of depression and
Well, yeah, it's different for me now, especially have gone through it already. At that time I was young, I was a kid, so I
yeah.
didn't really know how to get, but didn't even know exactly what was going on with me. I just knew I wasn't right. I wasn't in my right mind at that time, and it was different because your friends are younger, your friends are more immature, so they don't understand. But
That's true.
the older you get, we all start to understand life differently. We all deal with each other differently, So
Mhm.
my friends, we come to each other. No more room for depression. We keep on keeping on.
And that's good. That is good. Yes, life keeps going. Whew, don't I know? I'm about to be 40, so I've done. I am up there, and I've dealt with a whole lot of stuff. So like you said, your friends, they grow with you, and they become more than just your friends, and they help you through life. So, and that's good. This is my last question for you for tonight. What's next for you when you decide to come off of the football field after however many years you continue to play? What's the next step? Like once you come off of that football field and say, okay, football is done for me. What do you plan next?
Um, Depends on where I am in life with my son. Everything is about my son, really. I've just been right now outside of football. I've just been in the works of trying to start as many businesses I can to pass on to him and make sure I'm financially stable to. Well, I'm financially stable to make sure I'm excessively financially stable to make sure he has the best life he can have right now. And that's other than football. That's really all my focus has been on. So once that's done, all my focus is on him and business,
I hear
generational wealth.
I hear that because with everything that's going on right now, we never know where life is gonna take us in the next 10 years. So, like you said, father first, everything else second, and keep pushing to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that he has the best life that he can, and that's by you having the
Most definitely.
best that you can. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what is there anything else that you'd like to add to this interview? Like when the people watching, what do you want them to know about Jay Davis Sr.?
Um, I'm a go getter. I go hard for anything that I want. All I know is how to win.
I
You know
hear
what I
that.
mean? And everything I'm doing for little Jay. That's my son.
I hear that. And then in a couple of years, little Jay can hear it too, because it's gonna forever be on video. So you can show him this interview when he grows up and he can understand where you're coming from and certain things about you. So this concludes another episode of Meet the Mustangs. I definitely would like to thank you for taking your time today to speak with me. And I am
No
speaking
problem.
with Jevon Sr., number 23 of the Connecticut Mustangs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.